Happy Sunday, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. I was in worship this morning and a word came to me about it's just a revelation, a prophetic word message for everyone out there who is working and working and working and working and not seeing their work produce. So if that feels like you, then this word is for you. What I got from the Lord was that we need to rest so that it itself can produce. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 2 through 3, it says, "On the seventh day, God was finished with his work which he had made. So he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. God blessed the seventh day and separated it as holy, because on that day God rested from all his work which he had created, so that it itself could produce." Now, God did not create us, at least in our earthly body. He did not create us to be able to work, and never need rest. Sometimes we just need rest. But it's really interesting. God did not rest on the seventh day because he was tired. It says God rested from all his work which he had created so that it itself could produce. And that's the complete Jewish Bible translation. Basically, it's just the original Hebrew, the Hebrew Bible. What we call, as Christians, the Old Testament. And when I had read that, it was different from other translations that I had read. So I was just curious. So I looked it up in the King James Version, and that same verse says, "And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made." But the word that's used for created in the King James Version is actually a Hebrew word that means created to make. So he didn't just rest from all the work that he created. He rested from the work that he created to make. So the creation that he created needed to produce, and he needed to rest so that it itself could produce. And what also came to me was that Jesus is, the Bible says, the Lord of the Sabbath. But he also says that the Sabbath, or Shabbat, was not, man was not created for Shabbat. Shabbat was created for man. It's for our benefit that we rest. But it's not just so that we can just sit back and take a break, although that's wonderful. It's so that we can trust that all the work that we've put into something is not in vain, and is that the work that we've done is going to be blessed and be fruitful and multiply. God invites us to work 6 days and rest on the seventh. So he invites us into this, and it's not this legalistic thing. He invites us into this pattern of creation. That's his pattern. It's to work and then rest so that it itself can produce. He has called us to look at him, to follow him. He is our creator, and we are created in his image and likeness. So we are called to also co-create, because in the very next verse in Genesis, let me go back to it here. If I can find it. Or it's not the next verse, but it's in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 through 28. So after he says, okay, so God created man in his own image, and the image of God created him, male and female, he created them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." So he wants us to be fruitful and multiply. So he calls us into his pattern of creation. He says, look at me. I lead by example. The Lord leads by example. He worked and then he rested so that it itself could produce. And so that's how he was fruitful, and that's how he was effective in making what he created multiply. It itself needed to produce. So he designed this pattern of work, then rest. And so I just want to ask you today, this is the ultimate question. What is God asking you to rest from so that it itself could produce? What is God calling you to rest from so that it itself can produce? Because without rest, without trust, it can't multiply or be fruitful. So I just want to encourage you in that. That is his design of things. You don't have to feel, I just want to take the pressure off. You don't have to feel guilty in your rest. When you have done all that you can do, then rest so that it itself can be fruitful. And God will honor that. It'll be fruitful and multiply. So I hope this encourages you. I hope this takes some of the pressure off. God does not give us burdens. Oh, I will say that again. God does not give us burdens. When he says, yoke up with me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light, he means it. Jesus means it. And in Psalm 127, verse 1, it says, unless the Lord builds a house, the work of the builders is wasted. Unless the Lord protects a city, guarding it with sentries will do no good. So unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. He did not come to say, work your butts off. I'm going to put burdens on you. I'm going to put more weight and more weight and more weight and expect you to do more and more and more and more and more because you're my child and you should be able to handle it because you've got me. No, he says, yoke up with me. Jesus is talking when he says this, yoke up with me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. And trust that when you do yoke up with him and you do work, then rest and trust that it itself can produce and multiply. That's how we are effective. So I hope this encourages you. God bless you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekends. Oh, it's interesting, real quick. It's interesting that the Lord gave me this word on Labor Day weekend. He is so good. Okay, that just came to me. All right, have a great day.